Hi there. I'm Stuart Hammond. I'm a professor at the University of Ottawa in psychology, but I'm here today to talk to you about Elaine Brière's film, Haiti Betrayed, and really not as an academic, but as a citizen, someone who, like you, uh, in my case, read a newspaper article, in your case, watched a documentary film that led me to really reconsider Canada's place in the world and learn a lot more about Haiti. And it's a real pleasure and honor to speak today for the KDocs Film Festival 2022. So why Haiti Betrayed? You're going to see why as you watch the film and learn about the subject matter. And I'll also set a little bit of that up today in my talk. But I want to say that this is also in part because of the filmmaker, Elaine Brière, who throughout her career has focused on the gap between Canada's kind of benign image in the world and its actual actions in films like Bitter Paradise, talking about Canada and East Timor, and Betrayed, the story of the Canadian merchant seamen, which really depicts how Canada destroyed one of the largest merchant marines in the world. This quote, which I'll just read a few sections of, is from 2013, Canada's Minister of International Cooperation at the time. The fact is that Haiti is still in bad shape. We are not obtaining the results from aid that Canadians have a right to expect. Will we take care of Haitians' problems forever? They also have to take charge of their affairs. And I think that quote very much reflects how most Canadians think about Haiti, if they think about it at all, as just a perpetual beneficiary of aid and one that shows no progress. And this really reflects Haiti through the fog of what the philosopher Peter Hallward calls containment. You'll see him in the film, and I'll explain in a moment what this containment is. And it denies completely Canada's role in overthrowing Haiti's government in 2004. And you'll learn a lot about that in the film. So we have this picture of Haiti as a failure, a failed state, a fragile state, to use these very academic terms. Former President Trump used another term allegedly to describe Haiti. And then there's Haiti as a symbol. Haiti is really the crucible of the new world where indigenous European and Africans came together. But how did they come together? They came together because Europeans arrived and destroyed and killed the indigenous population and brought Africans to what became Haiti as slaves. And those Africans became the Haitians and led the first successful slave revolution in world history. And really, if you need to understand one thing about Haiti's history, it's that Haiti is made to fail. And you'll learn more about this in the film, that it's just being punished for overthrowing slavery. In the 19th century, France extracted a great deal of money from Haiti, claiming it was debt for its lost property. That's people, not slaves they're talking about. The US intervened in Haiti militarily and took over the country in the early 20th century. And there were two breakthroughs in 1991 and 2004. You'll learn more about these in the film, with the Lavalas popular movement electing a popular government. Both of these governments were overthrown by US-backed coups, but very importantly, the 2004 government and this overthrow was planned in Ottawa, something called the Ottawa Initiative, which was documented in a French language news journal called L'Actualité. And you'll learn more about it in the film. So we need to recognize that before there was Canada and before there was Haiti, Saint-Dominique, what became Haiti, was the most lucrative colony in the world because of its sugar plantations, whereas Voltaire described Canada as a few acres of snow. Now, of course, that reflects Europeans' utter disdain for the indigenous people of Canada, but it gives you a sense of a real reversal of the relations of what would become the two countries in terms of their relative value and worth. Canada and Haiti in the 20th century forged a kind of relationship through religion and the Francophonie. So kind of a French connection as French missionaries and Belgian missionaries, French language missionaries who were displaced because of the wars. A lot of Canadians took over that role. And so there were these links forged between the two countries. There began to be a lot of immigration from Haiti to Canada. Initially, the elites of Haiti would move to Canada, typically speaking French. But gradually that changed, and you got really the more representative population of Haiti moving to Canada, people who speak Creole. And it was during this period that arguably there was some benign aid given to Haiti, for example, in the form of agricultural aid. In the 20th century, Canada joined the traditional torturers of Haiti, France, and the United States. And this is really Canada's contact with Haiti as a failed state where in the same period where Canada was involved in Afghanistan, Haiti was actually our second largest involvement on the world stage. Why did Canada do this? One reason is thought to be to appease the US because Canada didn't take part in the Iraq War. But it's very important to note that Canada has its own kind of imperialist economic interests, something that Eve Engler and Anthony Fenton have documented, especially in the garment and mining industries. So what can be done? Well, first and foremost, you need to watch the documentary film today, get informed, and start looking for opportunities to challenge your own perception of Canada's role in the world, and of course, Canada's colonial organization in our treatment of Indigenous people, and seeing how all of these issues are linked. So thank you very much to KDocs Film Festival for the opportunity to speak with you today. Thank you to Elaine Brière for making her film, and to all of those who participated in the making of the film. And thanks to you for watching the film. Take care. Thank you. Bye.